Good view,
Oh.
babe.
Wow, hold on. That was like unfocused as fuck. That goes into the clouds.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, it was. It looked like it went like through a portal or something.
Right next to the moon. Yeah, it's rolling. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Beans, Thomas, beans. A bit. Beans, boss.
Now you know I'm gonna post this on Facebook.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. And please don't tell me this is a drone or anything like that, because that's definitely not a drone that I've ever seen, at least. That's insane. It's just orbiting. It's like doing turns and stuff. Wow. And if you think you can explain this, let me know in the comments. But this is nothing like I've ever seen before. Some sort of plasma or I don't know what that is. Try to zoom in on it if you can, by the way. Yo, as always, thanks for watching.
4,000 rest of you like that there. Shalom to you all. To make this super quick. Anyway, I'm gonna quote loosely. I'm not gonna go to it. I'm just gonna quote it. Ezekiel, chapter 1. A will within a will. The prophet Ezekiel saw the angels come down, angels of the Lord, angels of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and these chariots that he described as a will within a will. So I'm just going to show you this. This is fair use. I'm going to show it a couple of times. As you can see, that's clearly the will within the will. That's clearly a will within a will.
Shalom. First off, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, to rule well and teach well. And salutations to all you Akim, the Christian's truth, and our honesty and sincerity across the four corners of earth. Shalom. This is the brother Ramla, and I'm coming at you with a quick video through the spirit, power, and mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this be edifying. So I'm just mainly going to be speaking on the chariots. You know, the channel Great Millstone Word of Life, you know, as he put up, you know, daily, you know, constant videos of the chariots that appear, you know, and just give us proof that as evidence that they're out there, you know, whether, you know, in our day to day, you know, we might see the chariots from a distance, but we never really see them up close. But, you know, by the way of this internet, you know, we have a way of seeing, you know, physically seeing the chariots, you know, whether we see them with our own eyes or not. But yeah, man, so these chariots, man, are very beautiful, man. But I just want to really go into the scriptures that speak of these chariots, and this is how we know that these are the chariots that's described as in the scriptures. All right. You know, because a lot of the chariots we see, they look to be orbs or light. But there's a scripture that describes that. All right. So this Exodus chapter 13, verse 21. And it reads, and the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. So, you know, when we was coming out of Egypt, our people was leaving Egypt. All right. The Lord was guiding us in the chariot. All right. So in the day, it looked like to be a cloud. You know, as you see, it's a lot of chariots that be out there. You know, you'll think it's a cloud. All right. But they have a shape, a chariot shape, or take a certain shape, a certain form. All right. And they mainly be in the clouds. All right. And at night, you know, they look to be as of a pillar of fire. All right. They glow. All right. You can see them maneuver. All right. They flicker. All right. Look like, you know, a flame. You know, just like how you light a candle and the light will flicker and it's bright. All right. So verse 22 say, he took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. So, you know, he was constantly there watching. All right. The chariot stayed up. All right. So, you know, we witnessing these things ultimately by the way of the internet. The whole world is seeing it. Or you got people out there that's witnessing this or recording it, and you have brothers that see the chariots in the skies, you know, seeing fleets and things. All right. You know, this is just you know, it's exhortation for us in this faith, because we know that our salvation is near. All right. By the way of these chariots revealing themselves. All right. So this is Zechariah chapter 5. All right. And it reads, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. All right, they'll take the form of being a flying roll. All right, you know, or a spear. All right, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. All right, so you know, these chariots, you know, can be massive. All right. But seeing it from a distance don't do it justice a lot of the times, man. These chariots are very huge, man. All right. So let me see. It's a lot. So yeah, these chariots are huge. So, you know, and it's described as, you know, seeing a mountain, all right, in the sky. All right. So let me get Ezekiel Slakia. All right, so this is Ezekiel chapter 1, and this main chapter goes into, you know, speaks of the chariots, but also, you know, you can equate it to he's seen both chariots and angels. All right, you know, because of the depictions of what the world will put, you know, it'll equate, you know, they make it literal. All right, and you know, we seen the image where they have the chariots and they have eyeballs all on it and have wings and stuff. You know, that's not what the chariots look like, man. But this is Ezekiel chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse... All right, verse 4 says, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber, and out of the midst of the fire. All right, so, you know, and it's a chariot in this video, Now I'm gonna have the video of chariots or videos in the beginning of this. All right, and a lot of this, what I'm going into, is describing those chariots to a T. All right, where it says, in a fire enfolding on itself. All right, just like the chariot that I have in the image, it was constantly forming and moving around and glowing and sparkling. It was enfolding on itself. All right, and it was very bright. All right, it appeared to be emitting fire and all that, man. So, hey, man, these chariots are way beyond our comprehension, man. We don't have understanding of it when the kingdom get established. All right. And this is what I believe is speaking of, an angel. In verse 5, it says, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of man. It's going to the descriptions of it. All right. Of these living creatures. Well, I believe, this could be angels. All right. Salakia. All right. So to move on down. All right, verse 16, it says the appearance of the wheels in their work was like unto the color of a beryl, and they 4 had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel, a wheel within a wheel. All right. So these chariots was like a wheel within a wheel. All right. The spinning, like something like a Rubik's Cube, how you can spin it and rotate the different parts of it. So it's different parts, all right, to these chariots, man. The way these chariots are built up and made, is very complex, all right. And it says, color of a barrel. And we think, like the chariots on the screen, look to be like a stone or an amethyst stone, or, it have a sense of, it's elegant. It look elegant. And also, if we was to describe the material it's made out of, we'll say it's like, it looked like living or what's the word? It looked like sentient stones. All right. These chariots are very beautiful, man. So they're like a wheel within a wheel. All right. So, and it speaks of also, I can continue. Hold on, let me see. All right, verse 17, when they went upon their 4 sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them 4. So like this chariot, you see how they light up in the corners and stuff, like they have eyes everywhere, which, what you consider an eye, say like the chariots that we have, which I was going to say modern day chariot, but what a chariot is ultimately just a vehicle. And the chariots of the Most High are these so-called UFOs, because those are the vehicles of the Most High. But equated to the vehicles that we have here on Earth, the headlights will be considered the eyes. So these chariots have eyes, they have lights, they have windows, and they round about them on all sides, as you see on this chariot. Lights was just going off and all that, man. Just flickering. All right. All right, verse 19. It said, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. So the angels and the chariots are in tandem, with one another. All right. Verse 20 said, whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went, thither was their spirit to go. So these vehicles are spiritual. All right. So he's describing the inner workings of how these chariots operate. You know, the angels are inside them. All right. They connected with them. You know, what you believe through the spirit, you may command these chariots. All right. By thought. All right. So they went, thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. So they was inside the chariot, as if like being in the center of it, or however it may work. We're going to see, or in the coming future, how it is. And we're going to have full understanding of this chapter. All right, verse 21, when those went, these went, and when those stood, these stood, and when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. All right, verse 22, and the lightness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over the heads above. All right, see this chariot, you know, it's like a crystal. It's like, you know, literal, you know, like I said, sentient stone, man. Like, that's the best I can describe it. So while it's flying in the firmament, you know, in the heavens, all right, you know, it have a color, you know, hey, man, you see something like that, man, if you get close to you, or, you know, hey, man, you know, it ain't going to be no good. All right. You know, that's why we know these devils, man, they about to lose it real soon. That's why they had the drones up there trying to cause a deception, because they know these things going to bring them down. All right, the chariots, this is a sign of Esau's destruction. All right, but to us being part of the hopeful elect, hey, man, this is a sign of our salvation. But Esau, he dreaded these because he know that this is the Lord coming back with the angels, the hosts of heaven. All right. So, yeah, man, you know, I'm going to just end it here. But, hey, it's a beautiful chapter, Ezekiel. You know, you can get an understanding of these vehicles, these chariots. All right. You know, and this one is a good example of what Ezekiel saw. You know, also the other clip of Apostle Tahar, you know, he put up with the one like you really see it's a wheel within a wheel, you know, where a certain part of it is spinning, man, you know, a wheel within a wheel. And the way this one just form and move, and it's like a moving amethyst stone or a crystal, you know, hey, you know, got the lights flickering around it. You know, man, these vehicles are very amazing, man. And, you know, these things been around before we even existed on this earth. All right. So these are ancient vehicles, man. All right. So we want to, you know, understand these things, and we're going to be able to pilot these and travel in these real soon. All right. So Lord willing, is edifying and exhorting. All right. And with that being said, Shalom.